I have been working with Russians for over 6 years because at one point in the United States, I worked as a Russian translator. Back then, I only had limited exposure to Russian work culture, but after moving here, my perspective became much clearer. As a result, there are certain aspects where I now feel uncomfortable in an American workplace, and I want to highlight these reasons in today's article. At first, I was amazed that in Russia, it's not necessary to be a workaholic. Americans work a lot. They often stay late in the office to finish small tasks. I used to think this was normal, working hard all the time. But now, after living in Russia, I've come to value having time to relax and focus on my personal life. I also can't get used to another American habit, eating at your desk. Even though in America there are designated areas for eating meals brought from home, many Americans don't want to step away from their tight schedules, so they eat right at their computers. Again, I once thought this was normal. No one took breaks for snacks, and sometimes one person would go to a cafe to grab food for everyone. In Russia, during my first month of work, I was quickly discouraged from eating at my desk. And now I fully understand why. It can damage papers, create a mess, and having lunch in a special room with good company is much more enjoyable. Now I would also feel uneasy about the meticulous oversight of American managers. In the US, but it's common to closely monitor employees. It's not enough just to assign a task. Moreover, American bosses try to observe relationships between colleagues, prevent conflicts, and improve communication. In Russia, I haven't seen this. People form their own relationships, and the boss checks the final result without hovering over them. I also find Russian workplace celebrations cozier. Everything feels more natural, and people genuinely want to spend time with their colleagues, so they prepare for the holiday. In America, people do it mostly because it's expected by their superiors, lacking the warmth I experienced in Russia. There are some small advantages to American workplaces, such as simpler communication. It feels like there are fewer obligations toward others, just pure work-related interaction.